What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. So, the last video I recorded failed. It got corrupted. The audio did, and it was like bleep, 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 and didn't work. And basically, I was talking about the crybabies, Timdog and them, crying real hard on Twitter. And my question really is wondering why. Why are they crying so hard? Why are they so butthurt? Blah, 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 right? I'm not going to go through the whole thing again because I'm kind of tired of just kind of thinking about it. It's like, basically what it was I was thinking to myself, what kind of a person gets this upset about video games? And not looking at the big picture, not looking at video game industry. Because without the video game industry, without a healthy video game industry, you got no games. If it really crashed and all consoles like garbage, dirt, nobody's making consoles anymore, how are you going to feel then? What if PlayStation goes out of business and Xbox goes out of business and Nintendo says we're not making consoles anymore? How are you going to cry now? Because you're going to cry. But I'm like, where are you going to flip to? PC? I mean, that's the last bastion, I guess, right? It doesn't make sense to me. Are you gonna hope that Sega comes back or something, makes a new console? Or are you just gonna go get you a Pandora's box and call it a day and say, I'm just gonna play the old video games forever. That's all. That's what I'ma do. It don't make sense. Crying over nothing. Milk ain't even spilled. They're crying. They're acting like BIs. And I feel like saying the actual word, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to chill. I'm not going to be that mean. But that's what they're acting like. And the more they're on Twitter, the more they're on, they're having spaces, or the more they're on other people's show. I think it was on Sair's show, Next Gen 720. Crying. Why? The more you do it, the more foolish you look. You're a grown-ass man. Why are you crying about games? You actually acting like a little child right now. Like when I was a kid, I was hypersensitive. I would cry about anything. I would cry over everything because I didn't understand, a lot of things, obviously. And I don't understand most things now, but I understand emotionally wise, like what to get upset about and what not to get upset about. People who can't control their emotions, their anger, get upset about stupid shit. Just saying. I met somebody like that recently. It was pretty funny. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But I used to be angry all the time too. I used to be like, I got so mad. And I sat back and I looked in the pretty blue sky with the clouds and I heard the chirpy birds and stuff. And I was like, why am I angry again? I mean, you can get angry about anything, right? Oh, politics, I'm angry. Oh, my neighbor sucks, I'm angry. Oh, my girlfriend sucks, I'm angry. Oh, my boss sucks, I'm angry. And I'm going to be like, the way that I kind of resolve all of these stupid little things that you shouldn't get angry about is looking at the bigger picture. Now, there are certain things that are specific to one situation where you can get angry. You can be like, hold up, that's not fair. What are you doing? But, most of the time, stuff is like, nah, it's not that big a deal. You know what I mean? And so, when people act up, I try not to... my pops always told me, it wasn't an eye for an eye, but he's like, yo, never throw the first punch, but if someone throws the first punch at you, it's on, let's go, That works in some situations, not all situations, obviously. But, I was trying to talk through what kind of person acts the way that Timdog is acting. What kind of person gets so upset that they have to cry, and then flip-flop, and then, be like, oh, PlayStation's it now, Xbox sucks, I don't know, And I'm thinking, maybe he doesn't have a level of maturity conducive of adults. I'm just saying, because it's like say if Microsoft does something to piss me off, whatever. I mean, honestly, that's not how I work, but let's just imagine this. Let's imagine this in this fairy tale scenario. It pissed me off. I don't want to be a part of the Microsoft ecosystem, Xbox or nothing, right? Let's say Xbox. And I'm saying, oh, fine, I'm done. I'm not going on Twitter to announce it to the world that I'm not doing Xbox no more, blah, 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 blah. What I would do if I had a giant audience, I mean, he has a bigger audience than I do, obviously. I mean, maybe it shrunk now, but whatever. But what I would do if I had a giant audience, I would be like, all right, well, I don't really like what Microsoft's doing, but it's not the end of the world. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to look to other ways to satiate my desire to play games. Most likely, I would go the PC route, because I played some PC games. I played on some high-power PCs in my day. And while I suck at mouse and keyboard, still, I can appreciate the bump in level of fidelity and frames is ridiculous. I think I was playing one of the Call of Duties back in the day. It was like on a store display. And it was mouse and keyboard, but I was like, you know what? I could get used to this, though. I was like, click, click, click. And that mouse aiming is like, forget, you could throw a controller out the window, because mouse aiming is so fast, so tight, it's ridiculous. So that's where I would go. I wouldn't go online and cry like a BI. Why? What is that going to do? Is he trying to convert or bring in ponies to support his channel? Or I don't know. What? That's my main thing. Motivations. Why do you do what you do? What's the motivation? You know, I've been not a nice person sometimes. And the motivation is because I rarely start things that are unwarranted. You have to do something to me in order for me to do something. You know what I'm saying? Because most of the time, I'm not paying attention to you anyway. I'm just like, whatever. Huh? Will you say something? Because I'm not, you know. Most of the time, I'm in my own thoughts. You know, I'm writing. I'm figuring out stuff. You know, that's what artists do a lot of the times. So, motivation. What is his motivation to be online crying like a BI? What is the motivation? Explain it to me, because I'm trying to think of it in different angles. Like, okay, maybe he's trying to, you know, gather a following or gather a bigger following, or maybe he sees like all these flip-floppers, their channels grew bigger when they flipped to the PlayStation side. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I was just waiting for Microsoft to do something so that I would flip. I don't know. And he's like, oh, I know, I got insider knowledge that they're gonna put more games to PlayStation and Nintendo Switch. I'm like, who cares? They're Xbox games, right? They come out on Xbox first, probably, for the most part. What's your problem? Microsoft's trying to get paid. They ain't trying to kowtow or to please your notion of exclusivity. It's dumb. It's a dumb business move. And people are like, yo, exclusives, that's why I buy. Why should I buy an Xbox? Because you like the games they make. That's why. I mean, if you want to play it on PlayStation 2-3 years later, 6-7 years later, that's your right. You want to play it on PC, you can do that too. But you know, it don't make sense. So, you know, Timdog can kick rocks. I don't know him personally, but you know, if you want to holler at me, he can. I'm not trying to hide or nothing. I'm nobody anyway. I ain't got nobody. I got no followers. Just, you know, whatever. It's all good. But I'm gonna look at the situation. I'm looking at him in particular, and I'm like, nah, B, that's not how. You ain't looking good right now. You're not looking like the white knight that's leading the charge against the establishment. I don't know what he's thinking. Like I said, please, someone in the comments, let me know what the hell. If you know somebody who's like this, let me know. Maybe a psychologist. If there's a psychologist in the comments, let me know what this is. Is it like a childhood trauma thing? You know, PTSD from something that happened when they were kids? I don't know. Maybe all his friends got, you know, an NES and he got like a leftover 2600. I don't know. He got the Mattel. What was that called? The Omni. Remember that? I ain't gonna lie. That was all right. They had like a breakout game on it. It was all right. It wasn't the best though. But I don't know. Let me know in the comments below what y'all think about your boy Timdog.